The views and opinions expressed on Lifeguards Off Duty are those of its hosts and guests exclusively. They do not represent any entity, organization, or municipality.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Michael Kachmar.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Sean.
And this is Lifeguards Off Duty with Dr. Michael Kachmar, the Jersey Shore #1 lifeguard-themed video podcast.
Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook Live. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever streaming service you prefer.
If you would like to contact us, send an email to drkachmar@icloud.com. Follow us on Instagram at lg.association.
All right, let's get started.
Let's start the show.
Let's do it.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Michael Kachmar. Hello from Toms River, New Jersey. So today is, what's today's date? Today's the 1st of February, 2000, the year of our Lord, 2022. And this is a special podcast, video podcast today. We have the gentlemen, our lifeguards off duty, off site. They're not only off duty, but they're off site.
Off duty, off site.
So we have Tyler. Say hello, Tyler. And
hi guys,
Tyler,
I am in Attitash, New Hampshire right now.
Right.
Snowboarding.
And Sean, where are you at?
I'm in Morristown, New Jersey.
Okay.
Doing school.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, doing school.
Doing
But
school.
I'm going to Tyler later this week, tomorrow actually.
Yeah, they're meeting us in Vermont.
So it's the first time
Oh.
I'm sorry. So we've had people who have LinkedIn, and we're going to have one next week, by the way. John Moore, who's an attorney, he's going to be LinkedIn, but we'll be all in studio. Hey guys, can you just do me a favor? And I could send it in your box, but just check on if anybody could check YouTube, make sure we're going live. So anyway, everybody, this is our video podcast, Lifeguards Off Duty with Dr. Michael Kachmar. I'm a board certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon, doctor of podiatric medicine. And we work, all three of us actually work in Seaside Heights Beach Patrol. And we've been doing this for a while. I think this is I don't know what North show this is. Can you guys remember how many shows we've done so far?
Definitely plus 20 now, right?
Yeah.
Plus 20.
Yeah. So
81,
this is
81 subscribers. I just want to remind everybody that on the 100th subscriber, if you can prove to us that you're our 100th subscriber, you get my microphone whistle, the red one. Not just the good one.
All right,
First sound effect.
The first sound effect.
We need to add the seagulls for the awkward silence.
Yeah, well, that's the best I got is
need
crickets.
the seagulls.
Oh, you got it?
I got crickets. No, that's crickets. That's not seagulls.
We'll do the seagulls.
I don't have seagulls. So yeah, I like this.
Eventually,
this is pretty neat. This private chat box here. This is pretty neat. So yeah, this is like a new.
That's where 20 years ago. 20 years ago, do you think you're going to be doing video calls on the internet?
No. I tell you what.
Seriously, Patch, if you had come across something like this 20 years ago, what would you have thought?
Listen, we didn't.
Yeah, how crazy.
We had TV, and that's about it. To have something like this is even like 5-6 years ago. You couldn't do this technology 5-6 years ago. No way, no how. It wasn't existent. And what's interesting about all of this is how fast it came out, and how good the quality is, and how many people you can reach. You just think about it right now. We have the ability right now to reach billions, not hundreds of thousands. But billions of people have access to this right now. Billions all across the whole world. That's crazy. That just is ridiculous. Really, it blows my mind. But I remember, you got to remember the day when I was a young kid, 16, 17, 18, driving, we had these big cassette tape players. The cassettes were about, let me see, this big, and you put them into the car. Yeah.
What is that called? That's an 8-track?
They were 8-track cassettes. And, you had a big box. You could only carry about 12 of them. And then the big thing came out was little cassettes. Of course, now it's all digital, so it's a whole different world. And
and then I remember the CD players and it being a big deal if you had a skip proof.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
You could take it for a run, or you could listen to it on the bus, and when you hit a bump, it wouldn't skip.
I actually have in my somewhere in my closet somewhere. Somebody gave it to me for a birthday present or Christmas present. I never opened it up. It's a 300 CD player, storage. 300.
But the people used to have it in their cars. They'd have the like the CD switcher. You could put like 6 CDs in your car.
Yeah. You could put them all in there, right? And actually, I was trading in a car. I used to lease a lot of cars through the business, and I had a Honda, and I had about maybe what the max was 6 CDs in it, and I turned it in, and I realized that I left them in there, and I called up, and they were gone. They were gone. Like,
so what kind of music did you have in there?
A lot of stuff I still listen to now. Led Zeppelin was big. Led Zeppelin. I grew up with Led Zeppelin. This controversial thing, Neil Young, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. It's so funny because I'm looking on the internet and Neil Young was he's protesting Joe Rogan. So, and people are like, who's young people like, who's Neil Young? They don't even know who he is, And then the old people's like, what's this Spotify?
What happened to keep on rocking in the free world, Kashmar?
Yeah, I don't understand that whole thing. He was a rebel back in the day. They were rebels. They were against the man, the Vietnam War, anti-government. And it's kind of like weird because now I think he's really on the side of the government more than the rebel side.
Well, I think
it's kind of funny how people change, It's like
I think we're getting like a little crazy political for a lifeguard in podcast, but
yes.
I think like a lot of like the whole idea of liberalism and left wing has kind of shifted a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of crazy.
Well, it has.
So an example of that where they were against the man, but now it's kind of a different situation. It's kind of
listen, you want to talk about politics, come on my medical show. That's medical politics. So let's move on here.
I don't pay attention to enough of that to even.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that there. Now. I get a headache. So listen, this is our podcast. We want to talk today. I have this really good book. I want to talk about this book a little bit and show some pictures. I want to talk about the authors of this book, and then we could go back to you guys, or at least you, Tyler, and you could tell us about how your day was today and you're in New Hampshire, right? So he could give us a little, So anyway,
almost picked up an injury today, but I'm okay.
Uh-oh. All right, good. Well, we'll talk all about that. So here I got the whiteboard here. So this book is called Lifeguards of the Jersey Shore, and the authors right now it's Michael and looks like Spike Fowler, and then Bernard A. Olson and Edward Ted Olson. Now this book here, I'm going to show you what it looks like here. Let me get it right here. So here's a picture of the book, and it's.
When did you pick this up?
This was published. Looks like in about 20 years ago, actually. 2 years ago. Let me just see. Hang on. I should
published, but when did you get it?
A few years ago. I'm looking here, and it came out. I'm trying to see when it was published here. It looks like copyright 2010, so it's about 12 years old. And I had it for a few years, and it's really, really good. And there's some really great pictures in here. I just want to show you some of the stuff. I recommend this to anybody who wants to really see what's going on with the Jersey Shore. And remember now, too, that we have somebody coming on who's doing another book. What's the name of that book, guys? Because we have somebody who's going to come on to our show who's going to launch or publish another book real soon.
Yeah, we're speaking with a couple authors.
Couple authors.
That are working on some really cool stuff about the Jersey Shore and lifeguarding that we're looking to get on. So it'll be exciting for sure.
Well, this one here.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. This one here.
Stay tuned. Exciting guests coming.
Right. So this one here, I just want to show you some of these photographs. I mean, this is like really unbelievable stuff.
Kashmar, which one did you say looked like me with the mustache?
No, not you. This one right here. This guy right here looks like Jack, one of our lifeguards. Right there. That guy right there. What do you think? But look at these guys here. Tell me these guys don't look like some real wacko guys, like really crazy. And then look at this group here. Look at that. And I know this is not the best. I'm just trying to hold it up.
Imagine swimming in those capris though.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Those long.
Yeah, look at those. Yeah. They look like they're real. They were real characters. So this is a great book, And there's some things in here that I wanted to talk about a little bit. I've read it. Like I said, I have it as a reference book, and in here they have sections on. Well, I have the authors, number one, and these authors are really unbelievable individuals, and they worked as lifeguards. So this guy Spike Fowler worked as a lifeguard every summer since 1964, and he was the captain of the Avon by the Sea for many years, and he guarded in Belmore and Long Branch. And then Olson, another one, a bachelor master's degree from Monmouth University, and then Ed Olson is a cum laude from Westchester University, bachelor's degree in health and physical education. And all these guys, I could go on and on. I don't want to bore you with it, but all of these guys are like unbelievable individuals. And the thing they put together here, they talk about boats, they talk about cans, they talk about the early rescues that we talked about, where they shoot the cannon out to the ships. They interviewed a lot of lifeguards, and in the back, they profile some of the legends in lifeguarding. And of course, with that, there's our beach patrol and, John Boyd and Junie Boyd.
No way. They're in that book?
Oh, yeah.
What's it say about them?
Let me just find it here. So, our beach here. So here's the some of the legends. Let me just show you. And, let me put the camera here. I'm having a hard time. Look at that guy. The barrel.
Who's that guy?
So,
yeah, those are some good shorts right there.
Look at these guys from the 70s right here. Look at these guys from the 70s. That's, so I'll show you our guys here. Hang on. So I know this is a little bit kind of crazy. So here's some more,
Cash,
really.
we gotta try to describe these pictures, remember?
I know. What we're going to do here. Yeah. What people need to do is go to our webpage. I mean, our YouTube channel. But here are some, it goes on and on. Let me just show you our beach, and then we'll pack this in, because this is, people have to come to our YouTube video and look at it. Here's our beach patrol profile right here. So there's Johnny and Junie Boyd. John is the one up top. That's John right there with the hat on, and and then that's his brother Junie. Sorry about that.
Is that you?
They're both. Yeah, that was a mistake. They're both passed, but Junie. I worked for John, and Junie was unbelievable. That guy was an unbelievable boatsman. I mean, in the water. Can you say? Hang on a second. Right here. Let me see.
You gotta move it the other way. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I keep hitting the thing here, man. Yeah, I can't do this myself, guys. You guys got to be back here.
You're doing a great job.
I'm just too much for me. Hang on, this is too much. I'm working one thing. I'm working the other thing. It's too much for me. Here, check it out here.
You're still on the
wrong. Here you go. I'm going to stop this because I'm killing this.
There you go.
It's too much with the cameras and everything.
So, all right, tell me what it says about them in that.
All right.
That is a badass pic of Jay Boyd, though.
That is badass.
Yeah, this book, what it says here real quick, I'll just say, and I'll give you a real quick thing here because I can only do. So it says it says 19, I don't know what it says, 1987 Seaside's annual publication lists 9 Boyds. So it's truly a family member. And the 3 brothers who really worked there were John. So it's UJ, J, John, and John Jr. and Joseph. So the guys I know were Junie and John and then Joseph. And they passed away. There was another brother. Actually, there's 2 more brothers. But, it goes on here. John Boyd was a captain in the Air Sea Rescue, and he played for Pop Warner. And Junie was just, like I said, unbelievable individual. We'll profile this book. I don't want to go into it too much. I just wanted to.
We should bring that book out when we have other guards from other beach patrols on, because they're gonna know. They're gonna know the people.
It'll be a bit easier when we have a lot when we're in the studio.
Listen, we need to have. What we'll do is we got to have the camera mounted up, and we could look at this book. I just want to throw it out there. So if people really want to, read about the Jersey Shore, and specifically lifeguards. This is an excellent read. I highly recommend it. And here it is again. Lifeguards of the Jersey Shore. The authors right there, Fowler, Olson.
Spike.
And it's published by, I think it's Schiffer. Is that Schiffer? So how do you pronounce that?
Schiffer.
That's who publishes it. And I don't know, it's about $20. I think it's well worth it. It's a great, great book.
His name was Michael Spike Fowler. What the nickname thing always gets me because every beach patrol has nicknames. Every guy gets a nickname.
Well, you know, that's how it is. We all, and it talks about it here. We all had nicknames. I was Sam Elliott because, you know, when the movie came out, they busted my behind, Sam Elliott. You know, Sam Britton. Remember Sam? You know, he was called Squid. No, Squid. Yeah, but that was more.
That's what they called you, Shoes, the lava guys.
But no, it was Sam Elliott. You had you know, everybody had a nickname, and that's that years ago. That was a real common thing. So it was good.
Still today they call me Key.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. It's
the nicknames are great. I heard a lot of noise downstairs at the place I'm staying with Adam and Jack and our other friend Ryan, and I heard a lot of noise coming from downstairs, so I went to look, and they're watching the podcast on the TV.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they are? Yeah, well, we have technical
difficulties. Adam and Jack come up here to say hi.
Well, yeah. So this is so for our audience out there who's on our podcast, you guys got to come to the YouTube video and watch it. And people who are watching us, please subscribe, hit the bell, and the more people we get subscribed, the better off we are. But today's kind of like just floating around. We wanted to test this out. And we don't have to go, you know, too long today. The book I wanted to go over, but I really didn't, you know, prepare too much other than I just wanted to say, hey, you know, it's a good book. We're gonna go dissect this because we were talking about cans. Remember we went through the cans, one of our shows. I didn't realize at the time there's cans. They're called diamond cans. Did you guys ever hear about a diamond can? A diamond.
I've never heard of that. You were telling me about that yesterday.
Yeah, let me just show you because it's really interesting here with this book. So here's a picture of a diamond can, and so you can see it there. See on the bottom, it's a diamond.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Right, and then over here you have the torpedo. So there's the belt. You see the belt up top? You know.
Now is that a soft? Okay. Is that a soft can? Is that foam?
I think it's metal. I think it's metal. See, I'm having you know what the problem is here, guys? I have to look what's on the screen and my other thing, but it's the
You're doing great,
the messenger. Yeah, let me get rid of this. Let me try something.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We saw that one perfectly.
Yeah, now
you're doing good.
Try this. So the other, let me just show you I've seen this can here, this one right there. I've used that can. I've seen them, but I've never seen a diamond.
Is that
can.
metal?
That's foam, I think.
Is that metal?
No, I think that's foam. But let me show you over here. So here, look at this one here. You're gonna love this picture. Look at that. And what's the circuit?
First beach patrol in the United States, Atlantic City Beach Patrol.
Look at that, 1915. They were doing ropes. They were doing lines. We really don't. On a boat. I want to make this. I want to correct myself. You never call, you know, on a boat. You don't use the word ropes. It's lines. And probably here we should be saying lines. But we used you know, rope cans. So it's interchangeable. But look on the bottom here. Look at that bottom picture. Let me get it right here. And let me go this way. And look at the boats and the boards. Look how tall those boards were. Isn't that unbelievable? And you can read here that was Cape May Beach Patrol, you know. And like I said, I apologize for the.
You could bring 4 people in on that board.
Yeah, I don't. It was better in the boat. I'm trying to putz here. I'm really having a hard time because everything's backwards. But it's amazing in this book here. You got boats, you got cans. And one of the things that I realized, we had Hankins boats. We talked about Hankins. Remember we were talking about Hankins? Well, Here's a picture of Mr. Hankins right there. See the guy with the
all the way on the left there, the screen.
Yeah.
Under the sign.
Yeah, and there's Hankins.
That boat's got a Bud Light sign on it. Yeah. How do we get sponsored on our boats in Seaside?
But you have the boats that I rode Hankins, I rode Shock Dory, AC, and Van Dyne. But there was other boats, and there was a Van Zant. And we had to track this down. There was one of the captains of Long Beach Island used to collect the boats, and I think he had his goal was to get every boat that was ever made and refurbish it. So we got to track that down because there's a lot of history just in the boats. Of course, the oars. Yeah. Now when I first started with the Beach Patrol, the oars were all wooden. And then they went to metal and plastic. So
Catch,
here's a picture of oars.
Are metal and plastic straight up better than wood?
Well, it's interesting. The guys who are really big time rowers, they tell me that the plastic ones are really better. Now I don't, the wood. So definitely there's arguments of one versus the other. I'm not the expert in that, so I don't even want to sound stupid. But I know that I was talking to Joe Casino, and they were looking for the plastic oars. They don't make them anymore supposedly, and they're worth a lot of money because in competition, a few seconds can mean the difference of winning or losing.
Which
So
ones
yeah.
do you prefer?
I like the plastic ones. We put what we do is we cut the handles down. We cut the handles down so your hands don't get fatigued. And we put fire hose where the oar interfaces with the boat in the gunnels, and it stops the banging. It's more smooth. It really makes a big difference. Everybody does that. So, but I started with wooden oars. That's all there were. Wooden oars break. You break them quite often. They bend. If you don't lay them on a boat right, the heat they kind of warp. So but the other ones too could do that. So I just want people let people know that that has evolved. And then you have 8.5, 9. You could have some long oars, and it depends on the water and who's rowing where, what size. And then there's different blades. So there's a big science between what length, what seat. You got the bow and the stern. What oars you're going to put in which one. We should get somebody in here who has knows more than I do about that, which is probably just about everybody.
We should find that guy from, where is he from? LBI. Where's that guy from?
Long Beach Island. Yeah, and so I mean, here's I love the pictures in this book. Look at this one here. Hang on, let me get it on here. Look at that.
Yeah, on the bar.
Look at that. I mean, those guys just and what year is that? 1900. That's so that's 122 years ago.
Look at them in their long pants and long sleeve shirts. 1900.
Yeah. Well, it's in here. What it talks about in here is pretty neat. In those days, remember I was saying people didn't swim. There was people swimming, but back then, according to this book, what they say is that the idea was to go to the beach, get in the water, and just jump up and down. In the waves, waves hit you, you jump up and down. That's it. I mean, there was no swimming out and remember I was telling you about sitting a pole. Remember you guys? Yeah. So
I want to see that.
I want to show you a picture. So sitting a pole, they used to put up all these poles. So let me go over here. Hang on. So there's a lifeguard. There he is. See him sitting a pole?
Oh, wow.
See that? And there's another one right there. So they're literally sitting a pole. So they would put all kinds of ropes. Now, there's some beaches that I was told that put the ropes out and they had no lifeguards. They would just put these ropes out and people would fend for themselves. And I think there's a picture in here of that. So that's pretty neat. I don't know where so yeah, you sit the pole and that would be a rookie job. And you were right in there with all the people. And I think there was key to knock the people, knock the lifeguard down. But so what they would do is they would take these lines and put them out, and they would have buoys on them. The lines would have buoys, and they put an anchor out there or a pole out there. They would dig the poles in and then bring them to the beach. You got to remember, back in the day, what they did, they used to do a lot of fishing around here, and they would take a boat out and go past the break. I don't know how, maybe 100 yards out, maybe a little bit longer, and put in poles, wooden poles, and then put a net between them. They were called gill nets. And as the fish went, by, they would get caught in the net. And then every day, these guys would go out there with the boats and gather the fish. So, they knew how to do that, digging poles. So it was a good idea. You figured that people would hang on and but that became a lot of maintenance with that. You remember when we put the poles.
Is that why you think they stopped doing it? There's just too much maintenance.
Yeah. Storms blow it all over the place. Think about down the bay. It gets all kind of barnacles on it, and then the barnacles hurt people. So I got to show you. I got to show you this.
We realize that we just don't need it.
No, check this one out. Let me see. Let me get this here. This is a lifeguard headquarters. Let me see. Let me get it here.
Hey, that looks like ours.
No, the one in the middle. It was made to look like a cruise ship coming at you.
It looks like it.
Isn't that neat? So I tell you, there's a lot of good stuff in this book. I got this, man. I was like, oh, and what gets me is that you have so many different beach patrols in New Jersey, number one. And then you have so many years. I mean, right now, I just showed you over 100 years of lifeguards
Yeah.
experience and pictures and time. Overall, 120. Excuse me, I got a call. That's pretty wild. So we have a long career. So how many thousands? We should do one day, sit down and say, okay, you had how many beach patrols in New Jersey? How many lifeguards work a year? Over 120 years, how many lifeguards lifeguarded? I bet you I don't know what that number is, but I bet it's pretty high.
More than 10.
Oh yeah.
More than 10. So I just I just think that it's really good. When we get this other individual in here, one of the other guys who's doing a new book, I would love to see what he has to add to this, because I bet that individual has more pictures, different stuff, and maybe more stories. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to push that out there.
You're trying to patch together the story of lifeguarding.
Yeah, in the past and now and in the future. Yeah, because you need to. You're gonna. I was talking to my guys. We swam today. It was a bunch of us. We're all retired, or not retired, but
you
some
guys,
of the guys
are the new old man's club at the YMCA.
Yeah. We crank too, man. We get in there, we beat up everybody, So we were
swimming. In 10 years, you guys are going to be the group of guys that hangs out in the corner and just
sign it, right.
That's water.
The shallow one,
yeah. I don't know about 10 years, but so there's guy, there's Dave Pierce, guys from Sandy Hook. We have Steve Nagel, me, Joe Casino. Anyway, we're all talking, and one of the things we were talking about was about history. And if you don't remember history, you'll make the same old mistakes. So, we're learning how to go forward. We need to make sure that we remember what they did back in the day, what worked, what didn't work. Obviously, the ropes and everything didn't work for whatever reason. Things that work and didn't work. You need to know that, so you don't repeat the mistakes in the future. And I think it gives a whole different perspective on lifeguarding. We didn't invent this. We're 120, 130 years already, people behind us. That's pretty wild. And how many people got saved. So anyway, that's the book. I want to get this other author on. So how about we shift gears, because we're doing this thing, and I think the quality is really good. Hopefully anybody comments how it looks. You guys are not delayed at all. How about you tell us, Tyler, about your trip up there?
Wait, Cashmore, do you remember people starting to go snowboarding? Do you remember if that ever became a big thing, or when that shift happened, people would start traveling north?
I tell you what. I used to ski, and way back in the day, but I remember the only recollection I have, I watched the video, and I actually bought it. It was called what was it called? Something Air. And it was about these famous snowboarders.
Air Bud.
No, Liquid Air, something. It'll come to
I've
me.
never heard of it.
Yeah, it's you could, if you look real quick. I don't know. Yeah, and
I'm trying.
I thought it was called Liquid Air, but that doesn't make sense. It's really good. So I think it's a great sport. It's like surfing, to a certain degree, but.
Cash, do you consider skiing and snowboarding a water sport?
Well, it is water. It's frozen. I mean, it is water. Snow is water.
We've been debating that up here for about 2 days.
Well, it's a cold water sport. What about ice skating? Is that water? What about ice sailing? I mean, so
have you guys seen the movie?
Go ahead, Sean.
Have you seen Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled sport?
Yeah.
They actually qualified, right?
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
I think the Jamaican bobsled team qualified for the Olympics this year.
Again, this year. That's why I'm bringing it up. I just heard about that. They're the Jamaican bobsled team is in the Olympics this year. So
whenever I launch a Van Dyne, I say, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's Van Dyne time.
Well, you talked about it while you're just thinking about the Jamaican bobsled. You talked about next month, or is this month? Black History Month.
I think it's next week. Oh.
Next week?
Yeah.
So
I was talking Olympics.
No, I'm talking about the black, because you're going to profile. You were going to bring on that life-saving headquarters that was taken over by a Civil War, a Black American who fought in a Civil War.
Richard Etheridge.
Yeah, we want to.
I'm pretty deep into my research on that.
All right, good. So we look forward to that. That's gonna be a good one. But yeah, that's a good question. You know, if you're on ice and snow, is it water? It is, but it's different. But I think that some of it, you know, with a snowboard, some of your skills there are probably similar to surfing. You know, I mean,
Well, I asked Jack, our resident marine biologist, if a mountain when there's snow on it is considered a marine environment. We didn't really come to any real conclusion, but
yeah,
it's just
not
a
in
big
true
wave,
sense.
right?
Not in a true sense.
Just a big old wave.
Not in
well,
a true
like
sense.
it definitely becomes a marine environment when it melts and then flows down into a river. So it has the potential, but I don't know if exactly it's a marine environment. That's a question for him to answer when he comes on the show.
Yeah, well, I could talk to Jack about because I
upstairs.
just read an article about it was a biology thing about how when the world was evolving and kind of like where life they think started was like a right next to the shore a slime layer, not that far out, you know, a few maybe 100 feet and
Well, I mean,
down.
the majority of fish in the ocean live within what, like 100 miles of shore.
Oh, I don't know
right?
about that. I don't know. There was no. I mean, but anyway, yeah. But let's go back to what you're doing there. How did you have fun?
Yeah.
Like, tell me what's the conditions there? Is there a lot of powder snow or
I'm
what's
having a
going on?
blast.
How
It
how
hasn't
much?
snowed at all since we've been here. We're in New Hampshire right now. We're staying at the lodge at Attitash, which is a mountain up here in New Hampshire.
How high is the mountain? How high? How high? What's your elevation right now?
I
Don't
don't
know.
know the answer to
High.
that question. No, I didn't even ever look that up, but it's pretty awesome. And we've done 2 mountains so far. We've done Attitash, and then we took the trip today to Wildcat.
What's the base? How deep is the base? Do they say? You know.
I gotta look it up now, Catch.
Oh well, you know. I mean, is it powder? Is it wet snow, heavy snow, light
Oh,
snow?
no,
I mean,
it's
I know
snow this
I
week.
know
New
more
Hampshire.
about this stuff than you do. I'm like,
When are you coming up to the mountain,
But
Cash?
I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. Like I was probably the worst snowboarder on the mountain today. I took some hard falls. But
listen,
okay, so Attitash is 4,062 feet.
oh, you're up there. That's a big mountain.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look up Wildcat is 4,062. I'm gonna look up Attitash
That's a
right
big.
now.
That's a big mountain. Yeah, that's big.
Attitash is about 2,900.
That's not as tall. Yeah. So yeah, Ani, talk about the Olympics.
Conditions are great. It's been like 25 degrees. I've been having a blast. Like I said, I took a couple hard falls in like the glades, like in between the trees, and I was kind of testing myself on like a black run. But overall, I've been having an absolute blast. Key's joining up with us tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow
yeah.
night we're meeting up in Vermont, and we're going to Mount Stowe.
Yeah, don't hit any trees. That's what got Sonny Bono. Remember Cher and Sonny and Cher. He blasted a tree. I've seen it in my day. I've taken care of some people. I wasn't on the mountain, but they stabilized him. They brought him to our hospital, and they some really bad skiing injuries.
Well, let me tell you a funny story from today. There's 4 of us on the trip right now before Sean and 8 other lifeguards meet up with us tomorrow.
All of us.
We're making the lifeguard house in Vermont.
Good.
So 3 of us get down the mountain. Now, like I said, I'm the worst snowboarder on the mountain. And I feel bad for these guys because every time when I get to the bottom of my run, they've been waiting for like 5 minutes because I've just been falling down the mountain.
Right.
So on this run, I actually got down first because they were like messing around in the trees and stuff. I get down there. Adam gets down there. Our other friend Ryan gets down, and then we're just waiting. 5 minutes go by. Jack hasn't shown up. 10 minutes go by. Jack doesn't show up. I look to Adam and Ryan, and I'm like, how long do we wait before we send ski patrol? So they were like, all right. They look at me. You're not good enough to go up and help us try to find him. So you stay down here in case.
There was no avalanche or anything, right?
No. They say, you stay down here in case he comes back. We're going to go up and go down where we knew he went and take a look for him. I'm at the bottom of the mountain waiting for like another 10 minutes. finally, Jack comes winding down the mountain, comes up to me. I'm like, dude, where the hell were you? We were about to call ski patrol. He's like, yeah, I went into the woods and fell and found myself in 5 feet of snow and then spent 10 minutes trying to dig myself out.
Yes, Adam.
And yes, Adam, we want you to come up here and actually share how the mountain is. Because
I just want to hear Adam say it.
I'm snowboarding at an amateur level. Me and Sean, we might be watermen,
Terrible.
but we're not snowmen.
Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah. People don't realize when you're up there, that's where they have snowshoes. I've been in places where I had to wear snowshoes and you sink right down. It's amazing. You go up to your waist, you can't move. You can't do anything.
So Jack was stuck in like waist deep snow with none of us around, just struggling. He had to pull himself up by
just wiggling.
Oh, Adam's here.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. People don't realize that. How you know? Yeah. So what kind of base? What kind of base you got there? How deep is the snow? Like what? I mean, is it like a 10
I
foot
think
or
got like a 2 foot like base? But some areas it's like really thick, and like the grooms are perfectly like groomed. And for like in other runs, you can see like branches sticking out. You can see some grass sticking out of some areas.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of depends on the runs. Like sometimes like the black diamonds, if they're not like that, they're considered like double or triple black diamonds, depending on like if there's rocks sticking out, if there's like not a thick enough base to just make it a single diamond. So
it's been a long time. I mean, I before I got into school, we do a lot of that. Actually, what we used to do too is we used to do it's an Olympic sport. Not that we did it, we were good, but we would take we'd take the guns out there. You basically cross, you take the skis and you would cross country kind of with the skis. And then you would have your gun and you go, shooting the guns, target shooting. It's an Olympic sport.
Sick.
Yeah, the one where they cross your skis and have to shoot.
Right, you can ski and you got to go up hills and down hills.
Keep their heart rate down while they're going. So if they ski too quickly and then they go to shoot, they can't aim properly. Wow.
Right.
Yeah. That's like the big part of it is seeing like pacing yourself correctly at a pace that can beat like the other racers, but like not pushing it too far so like you miss targets, because every target you could be the first guy done but miss every target and you come in like you get like time deductions for every missed target.
Yeah, and you're timed how long you got, so so, and I tell you it's tough, and you should try it, and then you got to hold a gun steady, like you said. Now they got precision guns, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
but it's an Olympic sport, so yeah. We used to do cross country stuff, and then snowshoes. I know my buddy goes up to New Hampshire actually, and he got friends who have a big property up there, and they don't go skiing, but they go it's just hiking with the snowshoes.
Yeah,
and that's a lot, and that's tough. That's a great workout.
behind the mountain that we were at today, because we were actually at Wildcat today, which is another mountain like 20 minutes away from where we're staying.
Right.
And like when you're in like the parking lot, you're on the mountain, you can see the mountain like on like behind the mountain, like where you can see the other ones. There's this crazy big bowl. There's no trees. It's so much higher up, and we looked it up, and you can actually ski that, but you have to hike all the way up there. And then
you get a helicopter.
Yeah, but like, I think the tradition though, because we looked it up and like they've been doing it since like the 60s.
Yeah.
Where like they traditionally have weekends where everyone hikes up and then they ski down this one face and it's like a quarter way down, and then they keep loops, and then at the very end they either ski as far as they can back down and then hike all the way back.
Yeah. I got a couple friends who they do helicopter skiing. The helicopter will take them up and they'll come down. And that's crazy stuff. Crazy. Yeah, they do it. I mean, that's got to be something neat. But what's that?
You guys want to see a couple of videos I took from?
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to say is what I've done is I've been in Colorado and I went snowmobiling, and in really deep snow, and that's amazing, and that's like really a lot of fun. But what I wanted to do is I was in Yellowstone, right? I was in Yellowstone in the summer, but in the winter you could hook up with a group. You can't just you go by yourself. And they may meet at this lounge. They meet at this place. It's called the Headwater, I think. And you station there, and then you go out into the park. You either go to Old Faithful or you go to the baths. Mammoth Springs. And so you go into the park. I mean, there's like, I think 10 foot of snow, 15 foot of snow, base there, and you
Yeah.
go all the way in, and that's and then you
That's
come
when
back to
run
say,
into, like that's when you run into like avalanche issues, like just with something like that deep, because it's just like
yeah,
that's where, like, same thing with the hella skiing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or usually when they drop the guys off, they'll drop them on a face and they'll drop like dynamite or whatever outside the window on the face. So anything that's like an avalanche risk will fall, and then
yeah,
after that, they ski
yeah.
down.
Yeah, well, I was at somewhere. They were shooting the cannons off. They were shooting actually. We didn't go skiing or anything, but they were doing. We heard boom, boom, like what's going on? They were shooting. I guess they said cannons. I'm pretty sure they said they shoot the cannons and up at the ridge and force an avalanche to happen. And then they're ready to go. Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're not worried about any of that up here.
There's one mountain in upstate New York, the Lake Placid Mountain. It's called Whiteface. And
Right.
the second summit, where if you take the top chairlift on certain days, they allow you to hike the last like 500 like feet up, and then you can drop into these like slides which are caused by avalanches, and they have like a warning system where if it's like a bronze day, they're closed. If it's a silver day, you can go up only if you have avalanche gear. So you need a shovel, a beacon, and a snow probe to see how deep the base is.
Yeah.
And then they have the gold day where anyone can go up.
Yeah.
They would let me go.
No. The ski
Right.
patrol is like at the start of the hike, and they check everyone to make sure they have all the gear that they need, and then you have to like talk to them and explain like if you're good enough to go do it, and if they think you are, they let you go up.
Hey, so I want Sean. Sean, look up.
They would see his board that's duct taped together.
It's a little chipped up.
It's a little chipped up. There's a little bit of duct tape on the one tail, and they'd be like, "Nah, dude."
Well, I watched this one documentary. I was having Sean to look it up. It's called, I'm pretty sure it's called Liquid Air. And it was a documentary of these really famous snowboarders. And they go way up. They drop them off with the helicopters. And they go down
Endless
these
Winter?
faces. No, it's not Endless Winter. And they will come off with like, no. But they would come off these they would basically controlled falls, straight down. There's no way. I mean, it was amazing. It's really a great documentary.
That's what I was doing today when I fell down the mountain instead of riding my snowboard. It was a controlled fall.
Controlled fall, is that what it is? I was going to try to find us.
I was so far in front of them that like I didn't even see it, so I can't even confirm.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna show some of these videos that I took.
Go ahead. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
let me put it on. Hang on.
Can you guys see my screen right now?
Wait a minute. Let me put it on here.
Yep.
So we're here. So go ahead. So you're the main screen right now. So go ahead.
I'm the main. Oh God, the pressure.
Can you see it from your side? You guys can see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we're not.
Look the blue.
Maybe preview. Okay. This is their ski patrol building.
The wind was howling.
I want to show you the one from personal emails. Jeez.
You don't put that out there. You get in trouble.
Cashmore, is it called The Art
I want to
of
show you
Flight?
guys the one from the top of the
What is it
mountain.
called? What's Sean? Hang on. What is it called?
The Art of Flight?
Yeah, that's it. The art of, that's it. Okay. I was not even close. That we got to show that. If you could get a video of that, just a little bit, Sean. So explain who we're looking at here.
Just look how beautiful that is. So that's this was today, right?
Yeah.
This is Wildcat. So we're at the summit.
Lower the volume.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
you wanna lower the volume a little
4,000
bit.
feet of elevation.
That's beautiful.
Is this the highest mountain around here?
I think it might be.
Tyler, lower the volume.
Yeah, the volume's a little
Sorry,
bit
we're
high.
done. We're done with my videos.
No,
Okay.
it's we're at the summit of the mountain we were at today. We were at over 4,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, was it like hard to breathe and stuff a little bit, or you used to the? I mean, because usually when you're up that high, sometimes for a long time, it gets a little bit. You guys are no, nothing with the breathing or anything. You're running out of wind, real.
Nah,
That
we're
zone
not.
is 8,000 meters, Kashmar. Have you ever watched a documentary on Mount Everest?
Yeah. Sean, did you find that? Can you find a clip of that movie for us?
Yeah, I can.
Alright.
I'm watching a video right now. I'll share it.
Later.
Hands out.
How's it
All right. Hey, we're gonna show you something really.
So I'll tell you what. I have been watching a lot of those like alpine
show-
hiking, alpine climbing documentaries.
Yeah.
Those dudes are the crazy people.
Yeah. Watch this here. Look at this.
Seeing this?
Look at
Yeah.
this. Now, when you do this, Tyler, then look at this stuff, the music. Look at these guys. It's called The Art of Flight, right? It's the music with this is just unbelievable. I watched this 100 times. Look at that. These guys are just, I really feel bad. I don't know their names, but these guys I think were all Olympic.
Yeah, I
This is
mean,
the second Red Bull
snowboards. Look at
video
this.
we're showing.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
That's something I
Is
just
that you,
do
Tyler,
not
there?
aspire to.
Here's Tyler coming down the mountain
Why?
today.
That's sick.
Hey, is that Tyler right there? Wait, what's Tyler? Come on, I didn't see him. There you are. There's Tyler going down the mountain.
No, these are much better than my videos, but I need to admit that that Jack took a couple.
Look at that! Look at that! Whoa! That's unbelievable. Listen, people who are out there watching this.
That was Adam today.
Yeah, look at this. So this is called The Art of Flight, and I highly recommend it. I would watch it. The music is unbelievable, and it's really about adventure and taking a risk, and it's very inspiring. Yeah. In fact, I think I might watch this tonight again. I mean, it's just so inspiring. I have it on my library. It's one of the best movies I've ever. It's a documentary. It's how was an hour?
I think I'm ballsy when I body surf like an 8-foot wave, and then you have these guys dropping off 100-foot rock faces and just flying through the air.
Right. And they don't show you when they screw up. Look at that. It's going and while they were filming this, one of the guys got hurt. They had to take him out. He hit a rock and it hit his head. He didn't die, but you could get killed doing this. So these guys are like best. There is Red Bull, The Art of Flight. Highly recommend that for everybody who wants to see it. It's a great thing. Well, I'm glad that
falling in that much powder. Must be so easy. Falling in that much powder.
It's not easy to get out. That's something I learned today.
That's true. Yeah.
I remember, Sean, if you say jump off a bridge or fall off a bridge into water, right? I think it's like 120 feet. After that, very unlikely you're going to survive. If you drop from 170 feet and hit water, you're dead. I mean, it's like hitting concrete.
Wow.
So you would think that water, so and same thing with powder. I mean, I don't care. I guess if it dissipates the weight,
but that looked like 30, maybe 50 feet.
Right, but what he's saying 30, is a good
50
point.
Feet.
Yeah, one thing about snow, and I noticed, and you know it now, when it's really deep, it's not like quicksand, but it's sort of like that. You can't get out, man. It's hard. It's hard to climb up, and
especially if you have a snowboard strapped to your feet, you try to pull yourself out, and you're trying to lift all that snow that's on top of that board. It's so hard.
I would wonder if it was, and again, I'm talking out my ass, but maybe a good idea to have a pair of snowshoes kind of like strapped to your belt or something. So if you do fall out and you lose your, ski or board, you could at least walk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not doing that type of backcountry stuff, but if I ever do, I'll keep that in mind. That's for sure.
But I tell you, I would love to go. What's that, Sean?
Adam walked away to tell us to talk about NAR. But do you know the full story? Because I only know some of it off the top of my head.
It's a snow.
It's a California thing where a bunch of people.
So, yeah, Sean, let me hear. Adam knows more about it than any of us, but
I know. Why do you? People made a point system talking about NAR, but he knows all the little anecdotal things. I don't know it.
No, yeah, well, we don't know it. So
I hear someone coming up right now, I think, to explain it.
Okay, so what is this? What is this talk?
These guys, they're on their local mountain. They've developed a point system.
Wait, Tyler.
Like grade
Cashmore.
The craziness of what.
Have you heard of the term NAR? Cashmore, do you know the term NAR? GNAR.
I totally forgot about this before.
In what context? I don't know.
Wait, Adam, we're talking about NAR. NAR is like when something's really.
Adam's here to
really cool.
From that awful.
Well, I'm like gnarly. I've heard gnarly. Oh, that's gnarly.
Yes, literally.
Oh, that's an old. That's from the. That's gnarly. That's like that's. So now, you don't say gnarly. Now it says gnar. That's nothing new. Gnarly. Yeah. So gnarly. I know the term.
No, but Adam knows like the origin of it. Adam knows
gnarly or gnar.
Yeah.
First of all, my day was called gnarly. That's gnarly. That's like cool. Somebody's like coming off a mountain like that. That's gnarly. So go ahead. Where's the origin of it?
The documentary talks about how this guy I can't remember his exact name. I think his name is like Gaffney or something. But he was just an incredible skier out in Squaw Valley, California.
What's the site? What date? How long ago are we talking about all this? How long ago?
Probably like in like the 90s, probably 80s, 90s.
Okay.
He was like big. He was like like when he was in his mid-20s.
Okay.
And he was just like a local that was sponsored, and he was just always out there. And he just had a big group of like other locals that they were just really good, I guess, friends. But he ended up writing a book called NAR, and he went over all the crazy drop-ins you can do, and he like scored them, and he kind of explained them, so you could go up with the book and look at whatever shoot you were looking at, and you could get a description of how it is. That way, you have like more like thought process before you drop into it. You know if there's a rock or a bank.
Right. So let me start this art of flight that we just looked at. I remember what they would do is get in a helicopter and fly and look at and try to find a spot where they could in their mind get routing, right? Yeah. So they would do the same thing. But go ahead. So okay, that's
they were up at Squaw Valley, so like they would just take the lift up, and then they had a bunch of like chutes that are right down a cliff face, and it would be where like water erodes in a certain spot, you can like shoot right down, and it's like straight down. So we made this book giving all of them like a description and a score, essentially, of like a rating and like a score of points, and then in the back of the book he had this whole point system, so like you could essentially keep track of what you did all day with your friends and see who got the most points, who won, won for the day. And then they had this whole the whole point section was called NAR, which was Gaffney's Numerical Assessment of Radness. that was the acronym. And then they added bonus points for doing crazy stuff while like on the run. So like if you like, for example, like if you called your mom and then went down the run while on the phone with your mom, you got like an extra like 100 points. If you like they had this one thing called the bear naked.
So this had to be at least 90 if you're calling your mom.
So but like they had all these.
You had no cell phones in the 90s, guys.
Were like if you fall and do like a tomahawk head over foot, you get 50 points deducted per like roll.
So you're telling me I had at least a negative 100 points.
Yeah, you definitely had negative points today. But that's what they did. And the documentary is a bunch of like modern day like skiers essentially going to Squaw Valley and playing the game of NAR to the fullest. And these are all like not like Olympic level athletes, but like sponsored level athletes with like Red Bull athletes, GoPro athletes, like all those. And it and it got wild because they all just started doing all this things that you could add on to your points total, essentially. So they were all like going down runs naked and stuff, and then they ended up getting kicked out. So they just did a road trip through other mountains and would play the game of NAR.
They outlawed the game.
Right? Yeah, they outlawed. The ski patrol came down and was like,
"No, it's no more."
They were like, "We love it. We think it's funny, but like the owner of the mountain doesn't want 30 skiers going down."
So, let me ask you this: Do you guys, when you're doing, you guys wearing helmets when you do this stuff now, or they don't? They require. You wear a helmet.
They don't require it, but like.
What about you, Tyler? You wear a helmet, Tyler?
I wear a helmet.
Yeah, because I wanted to make a point about that because I think this listen, everybody's going to push things and that's great, but one of the things that in my experience, and especially with a trauma center, we don't see it that much here, but you'll see the aftermath, and it's called closed brain trauma. So you don't crack your skull, but you hit your head and you injure your brain. And there's a couple famous snowboarders who they can't remember what day it is, they can't spell it, because they injured themselves. And if they wore a helmet, they didn't wear a helmet. So something about all that stuff. You're bringing it up because you're talking about doing crazy stuff. If you are going to do crazy stuff, wear a freaking helmet. It makes a big difference. I was just wondering if you guys.
We still have 4 days of snowboarding left. And you're going to hit us with some information like that.
No. Hey, it's better be safe because you know what? If I say that, it won't happen. If I didn't say it, it would happen. Because now you're going to be like, you won't do it.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, very good. That's pretty good, Gnarly. When I was down we were down in Tortola, so I had the three lifeguards down there, from our beach, and they came down to visit me. I was practicing medicine down. I was doing vascular stuff, and we were at this place called the Baths, right? And it's just a rock, cliff face. It's not that high. It was probably, if I have to guess, 15 feet, maybe 15 feet up. I don't even think 20. I'd say 15, 10, about 15. So there was some kid going to jump off and he was really scared. A couple of people were jumping off. And so our guys, you talk about gnarly, they see that. And you know who went with me, it was
I can
BJ.
imagine.
Yeah. And yeah, these guys got up there and they weren't just jumping off. They were doing backflips and, it was like pushing the envelope all the way. And I'm like,
getting NAR points.
Yeah, they were getting NAR points. I was like, oh my God. And then they were pushing these poor kids to like, the guys with his girlfriend. He's like, why don't you do that? And I'm like, don't do it. But it was a lot of fun. So I'm glad you'll be fine.
Hey, that's where our next remote podcast has to be from, Tortola.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try to do that. Listen, I want to just make sure we let everybody know who sees this. Next week, we're going to have John Moore. I just want to put that out there. Again, he's going to be on our show. He's going to link in remotely. We'll be in studio. You guys will be in studio. And he's going to talk about some serious stuff about the rules and regs and some of the stuff that USLA mandates or recommends. So it's really going to be a really heavy educational thing. And hopefully, I think there's, I don't know, I'll talk to John, but we may have some people call in. There might be some captains want to, call in, and we have the ability. Awesome. Yeah, they could call in. And then again, the following week, I'm going to try questions. To get. Yeah, they could ask questions.
They could ask questions.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I'll talk to, we'll see if we could do it. If maybe not the first time, maybe the second time, they could save their questions or they could email it to us. We have another special
guest, guys.
Oh, hey, here he is.
What's up?
What's up? Listen, I want our audience. I want to see something here. You just hang in there. Keep
wait, catch. I think Jack wants to close the discussion on snow being a marine bio environment.
All right, listen. I want to know.
Let's go.
I want to know if this is Jack's. Now tell me, the audience. Hang on. Tell me that don't look like him.
Yeah. No. That's.
I mean, is that Jack? Look, I mean, that's like I don't know, Jack. Man, that's your eyes.
That picture of me?
Look at that. How'd I get it?
I only gave that to one person. I told them to burn it. So
that's like that's like the movie where what was the name of it? I'm trying to think with where it's a movie where the Jack Nicklaus. Who's the movie where he takes over a ski resort? The Shining. And in the picture that's like 100 years old. He's in that picture at the end. That's you. That's yeah. Remember what I'm saying?
The Shining.
But there's always somebody. I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times. There's always somebody. You look back in the past, and it's like the spitting image of somebody else. It's kind of weird. But anyway, what do you want to do, Jack? What do you want to say?
Okay, yeah. So I just had to come up here because I feel like I have to explain my side of the story. When you guys were talking about when Tyler was talking about me taking forever to meet.
What happened? Yeah, tell us the story. What happened?
I thought I died or something.
So what happened? Tell us what we have to watch out for.
Adam, who we're with, has been snowboarding for much longer than both of us.
Right.
And he dropped down this glade, and I just followed him because I was like, yeah, I'll be totally fine. Lost him. He went somewhere else. I went a different direction. Tripped over. There was a root. Kind of, or like a fallen tree that was covered in snow that the front of my board caught. And so I took a header into 5 feet of powder. I just get up and it's up to my waist. So I try and push down and I'm pushing on nothing.
Yeah.
But luckily there was a tree right next to me. So I grab on and pull myself up out of the powder. And then go to get back up and then instantly fall again. And then I had to do it again. Eventually got out, and it took 10, 15 minutes. They were all worried about me. But there was another time, you guys were talking about hitting trees today. So I was going through a blade, and just really slow, wipe out, board hits a tree, nothing crazy, get right back up, keep going. And we get back on the lift, and we're going up, and we pass the spot I wiped out. And everyone's like, oh, yo, did you hit that tree? I was like, no. I was totally fine. Didn't wipe out at all. Killed that run. And then we go past, and there's a perfect imprint of my body sitting down in the snow next to the tree.
I was like, are you sure, dude? Because I see
your jacket
Imprint.
imprint
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Your
And then
imprints.
A
Yeah.
run later, there's 2 imprints of where Ty fell next to me the very next run.
Yeah. 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 It's how does it like, were you getting winded, or because we're all athletes, we shouldn't get too winded. But I remember being, when I was in Colorado, we were pretty high up there. And I remember, by about 4 or 5 hours, man, I was gassing, it was like, it was the altitude started to get to me, I forget how high we were. So I think, like we were above, a mile above, sea level, and then you got even higher. So like Denver is a mile above sea level. You're a mile high. They call it the Mile High City. So right off the bat, you're up there. So I don't know, how many. What's a mile? 5,000 feet. So planes up there.
5,200.
5,000. Yeah. So you could be. So you get a mountain there. You could be 2 miles up. When I was in where was I? When I was in Las Vegas. No, when I was in where the heck were we? I'm trying to think where it was, the high mountain. Jackson Hole. That's where it was. Jackson Hole. It's been a while. I didn't think about that. So no, I was in Jackson Hole, and we were up on one mountain. So Jackson Hole, we were 2 miles up. The one lift is about two. You could see there's a restaurant up there, right? You could see the planes coming in, the big planes, and they're below you. They're down. I mean,
No way.
Yeah. You're above. They're coming in for a landing, so they're in their approach.
That sounds nuts.
So they're. I mean, they could be 5,000 feet. You're another 5,000 feet above them. So you
A
can
buddy
see
of
the
mine,
planes. It's pretty
a buddy
wild.
of mine that I work with at the pizzeria I deliver for was telling me that they were out in Vail, and it was so freaking cold at the top of the mountain that by the time he got to the bottom, he had frostbite on his nose. He said it was like -40. It was the only run he took that day.
You go to Jackson Hole in the summer. I've been there in the summer, in July, and there's snow up on top of the mountain. There's still snow. I mean, there's snow there, so it's cold. I mean, but the height is amazing. I tell you. And when you drink alcohol, thanks, Jack. When you drink up that high, I'm telling you, you get hammered, man. We went up. So we had dinner. We had dinner planned right at the one ski resort. So you get on the bottom, and we had you get showered up and everything. We had a couple cocktails on the drive over there. I wasn't driving, so and I had just beers. And then you get on the bottom, and you go up to this real famous. It's a real high end restaurant, and it's a mile up. And they give you a bottle of champagne. So you drink the champagne going up, and it goes real slow, and it takes a while to get up there. And then you have dinner. And it was one of those dinners where they give you a glass of wine and the food. So it's like, maybe 5 or 6 different wines with 5 or 6 different food types. I tell you what, when I left that freaking mountain and got back, I was like, and I didn't drink that much really, but the altitude really got to me with the alcohol.
Did you have to ski down?
No, you take this lift down. No, this was at night. Yeah, no, but so in Jackson Hole, you have one ski lift there. Unless I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 2 miles up. You're 2 miles. Yeah, you're up.
What do you think the deals with that? What do you think the deals with the alcohol affecting you with the altitude? Just like blood pressure?
Well, it's lower pressure. The air, you have the higher up you go, but it's less oxygen. There's less oxygen in the air.
So it's hitting you quicker.
I don't know the physiology. I haven't. I'm trying. I have to think about it. But I can tell you. I can tell you what the environment is. The higher you're up, the less pressure pushing oxygen into your lungs. I think the air still has the same level of oxygen. I don't know if it's any different, but the pressure is not pushing it in. You need pressure. So I think that, and I know the higher you go, you do need oxygen. Like when the guys in the planes, like the B-17 bombers crews, they were like at 20,000 feet up. They needed oxygen. You'd be dead. You'd pass out. So I think you start getting already a little lightheaded, and then you have alcohol.
You're right.
What does it say?
The less oxygen, the more the more alcohol, it affects you more.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I can tell you it definitely works. And you're way up there, man. You're way up there. So you got to be careful about that. But that's why some people make bad decisions when they're skiing in a high area. They start getting a little hypoxic. I wouldn't be drinking and doing what you're doing. That's for sure. Don't get, I've seen people hunting.
So I shouldn't spend too much time at the lodge.
That's crazy.
Well, afterwards, That's just like everything else. Driving, like I on a boat. I take when I'm out there, whatever. I don't drink when I'm driving the boat, and I know, and like especially when I have a bunch of people. Like the last time before Corona hit, I had I think it was a 42-foot catamaran I was sailing. With about 10 people on board. And, I wouldn't drink at all. They're all drinking, partying, like, have a drink, Cap. I'm like, no, because, you get in big trouble. So same thing with what you're doing. Well, so listen, it's been about an hour. So time flies. I think this worked out real well. This was our test thing here. It was, we talked a little bit about lifeguarding, and I think it was really good. What I'm going to do is, you guys want to say anything to anybody, or I'm trying to think. Where's the stuff here, Sean? I don't know how. Let me see. We want to put captions here. Let's see. So, if people want to get a hold of me and us, here it is. It's email is drkachmar@icloud.com. You can send us an email if you want to, maybe get on the show. We also have, so that's one. If you want to get us on Instagram, and somebody commented to me, Tyler, we don't have, it doesn't say Lifeguards Off Duty, but this is the Instagram. So what is it? Instagram?
Yeah, we're working on
LG. Yeah. So but LG.association.
Yep.
And you could hit us up there. Also, I have my webpage. If you guys want to, if you want to get into medicine and look at my webpage, if you have any foot and ankle injuries, or you're talking about surgery. So it's JerseyShoreFootAndLegCenter.com, and you could really grab us there. Also, we want you to subscribe and put on a notification bell, right?
Yeah.
So
and I just want to point out, we have a bunch of exciting guests already lined up in the schedule. Photographer, a couple authors, a couple musicians, former lifeguard of the year in Seaside Park. So we're talking to some lawyers, captains from other states.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this, and we're talking to some interesting people. And I think we can all say we like where this is going. So let's just keep doing that. If anyone wants to talk to us, let us know. Like always, reach out.
Yeah, that's good. It sounds good. I'm trying to put some music on here. It's not working. Let me see. Hang on.
Give us some crickets, Cashmore.
I'm pumped for you guys to get up here. We're gonna have a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of snow this weekend.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give give Sean my GoPro. I'll have it all loaded up with 2 batteries and about 2 hours of memory. So you guys could you know how to use GoPro, right, Sean? Yeah, and I'll show you. And,
I have one too. We're giving one.
Yeah, so I want to see some pictures. All right. So anyway, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to put the music on here. This is going to be new for me.
Sean, maybe we should give one of the GoPros to the people that are actually going to be doing cool stuff on the snowboards.
No.
Well, I got a helmet. Listen, I got a thing you put on the helmet. I got the thing here. You got the chest, so you got it all.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
So I think I don't know if I'll give you the waterproof thing. You don't need it. You're not going to put it in water. So actually, I found out that
it depends. It's snow water.
No, but if you here's the thing: if you put it in the glass one that goes underneath the water, it gets too hot, so the water cools it down. So I learned that. But I'll tell him about it. So anyway, listen, everybody, thank you very much. I'm gonna put the music up here. I think we're gonna just hit the end, then we'll just keep looking at each other. So next show is next Tuesday. All right, everyone, try to come aboard. Thanks, guys. It was really good. Enjoy yourself and be safe, huh?
I will.
Be safe.
Oh, wait. Who's going to say? I guess I have to have the microphone. Stay out
go for it.
And stay alive. Stay out and stay alive. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.